if you wanted this to be a video that you enjoy watching, or you know, you want your time back from watching the US-Mexico game, this isn't the video for you. This is yet another critique of our fantastic manager, Gregg Bernhalter, who's absolutely tactically masterclassed by Tata Martino. Tata Martino was just... I mean, Tata Martino just literally took down Gregg Bernhalter's pants and he's just spanking him. I mean, at this point, guys, Mexico is not this much better than us. This Mexico squad, it literally, it starts in the midfield. It starts Andres Guardado, I can't even say his name, Jesus. Hector Herrera and Moreno were absolutely destroying the US in this game. And it starts for our midfield. I mean, to start Alfredo Morales in midfield with Will Trapp, who, as much as I enjoy the US youth, is arguably the smallest CDM or traditional number 6 I think I've ever seen. I went to go see him in person for the US-Panama game during the Gold Cup, and I was honestly not surprised that he didn't have nearly any tackles in the game. I mean, the guy he's just not built for a two-man midfield, and to play a 4-4-1-1 formation where you put Pulisic. I don't know if that's his preferred side on the left side, or if he just, like, if that was just a thing. But Pulisic on the left, Tyler Boyd on the right, Weston McKennie as the attacking midfield number 10, and Gyasi Zardes as your striker. We were doomed from the start. Is Zimmerman alongside, was it Long? I can't even remember who our defense was, but it was shambolic in the second half especially. And I mean, I did this to myself. I said Serginho Dest would be the future of the U.S. men's national team. I thought he would be a great left back. I advocated for him to start in my preview video, and it was absolutely a question mark. I mean, I don't know if it was the right or the wrong decision, because I mean, the kid was just getting exposed on the right wing. I think several times, and I mean, going forward he's great, but defensively he was getting chopped up like nothing. And Chicharito, I gotta give it to him. Mexico's all-time leading scorer, continues to score goals. I mean, he always just, like, it was like a throwback with him scoring. They did not even start Chucky Lozano. Guys, listen to this. They did not start Chucky Lozano. They did not start Guillermo Ochoa, Marco Fabian. It's just Jonathan Dos Santos, Edson Alvarez. I mean, there's literally, I think, like 5 or 6 of the best players from Mexico didn't even start this game because they didn't need them to. In the U.S., I feel like it was sort of like an all or nothing. And once again, I mean, it's less Gregg Bernhalter. I understand Gregg Bernhalter is just trying to do the best with what he does, or what he has, I guess. But we have to have a better midfield than Alfredo Morales and Will Trapp in this game. It's got to be a better midfield. I mean, it just doesn't work in the second half, especially. You saw why. 2 goals within 5 minutes of each other after already conceding the first goal. And literally, Mexico converted 3 goals on 4 shots on target. Like, the efficiency for that has to show that there's an outlying issue in either the defense or the midfield, and that is, I'll give you a hint, it's the midfield and the defense. You know, it's neither or. Actually, I take it back. The midfield is more to blame because it was non-existent. I mean, Mexico were just waltzing through it. I think one of the few bright spots in this game is that Christian Pulisic, when he did get into attack positions, when they let him roam, you know, with Weston McKennie, he was actually very deadly. But the fact is that we still can't finish ourselves. I mean, 6 shots, 4 on target, no goals. So yet again, we have another game. We have another game with yet no goals for the U.S. squad, and it's so disconcerting. I mean, just continuing to watch this U.S. team play Mexico, play our biggest rivals, and with yet another manager to see that we are so far off. With Mexico sort of ushering in themselves from their old guard with like the likes of Chicharito to the new guard. I say new guard, but Raul Jimenez is 28 years old. Raul Jimenez, Irving Lozano, Edson Alvarez, Hector Herrera. I mean, they're getting into a new dynasty, or not new dynasty, but a new era of El Tri football, or of El Tri stars. And the U.S. is still lagging behind. I mean, will it ever change? I don't think so. I mean, Mexico, guys, let's face it. I mean, Tata Martino's comments before the game, he said the Mexican league is better, just based off of the talent in the league alone than the MLS. And he said Mexican players, in general, playing across Europe, play at better clubs than those of the Americans. And I think he's correct. But at the same time, I think the Americans are catching up. Edson Alvarez and Serginho Dest are teammates now, so I mean, we have a little here and there connections. Chucky Lozano moving to Napoli, Christian Pulisic not lighting the world up at Chelsea, but he's starting every game. He's getting a lot of minutes, getting a good minutes essentially against one of the better clubs in England. So, I mean, I enjoy the thought process between both of these countries of diving into Europe, so maybe there could be some sort of success. Mexico obviously getting past the round of 16 curse, in the U.S. just getting into the World Cup and past, just into the World Cup and into the knockout rounds like we did in 2014. That's sort of my goal in overall aspirations for the U.S. squad, but there's still so much work left to be due. And even with that being said, I think Mexico, they were rather sloppy in possession, something that we didn't have a lot in the first game. In the Gold Cup final was possession. Mexico relinquished a lot of it in this game. I mean, a lot of it in the second half after they'd already scored a ton. So the U.S. kind of at that point, I feel like for about 25-30 minutes, we had about 85% of the possession because we were trying to find something to peel open, and there was nothing there in the first place. But with that still being said, I still think in the middle of the game, it was about 50, I'd say 52-48 in terms of possession. So the U.S. did a pretty decent job of passing the ball around. It's just passing the ball around through a Mexico squad that loved to counter with speed. Guys, I just think Tata Martino did a masterclass over the U.S. If we did like a more in-depth analysis with footage, with everything involved, I think you guys would see the same, because the overloads that Mexico were doing in the midfield and on the wings that Christian Pulisic would run into, it was absolutely insane. I mean, the fullbacks in Mexico had so much space, but yeah, I do apologize. It's not meant to be a rant by any means, or anything of that nature, but this game was just horrendous to watch as a U.S. fan. It made me a little disappointed in the progress of the U.S. men's national team, because we're going to play Uruguay in the upcoming friendly on Tuesday without pretty much the best of the players, the bulk of the players, I should say, of those who played, in this friendly. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and peace.